Hello, my name is Michelle Rodriguez, and I will be presenting my final project for Hamlet. So in this video, I'm gonna break it up into two parts. So I'm first gonna focus on the costume design and the characters, like my reimagining of the cast, and then I would do my set design, my sound, and lights. So let's get started. Okay, so we're first gonna start off with King Claudius. And this is who I decided to choose to play. I chose Benjamin Pratt because I've seen the characters he mostly portrays are villainy, so I feel like he would be a great choice. Okay, so for Claudius's costume design, I went more, as in for like the rest of the characters, I went more modern, and I chose to, instead of wearing like a big cape and a big crown, I decided to just give him like a regular uniform, like as if you would see like nowadays what a normal royal would be. And it is like a regular like white and black dress shirt. Not really a dress shirt, but I don't know how to really explain it. As you can see, and then a red slash that goes across his body, the jewelry, like his pendants and stuff like that right here on the right side, and then on the left side, and then he would have, of course, facial hair because I want him to look more villainy and like make him stand out than the rest. I also kept his crown so he can show the audience that he's a crown, like he's a king. As in his pants and his shoes are just regular black pants and regular dress shoes. I didn't want it to be a lot, and I kept it, like I said, more modern, and I placed everything in a different setting, and I will explain more of that later. Okay, and let's move on to Queen Gertrude. For this one, I chose for her to wear like a silk bluish purple gown with a chiffon type dress, cape that's sewed onto her shoulders, so she can just move it around if she wants to. And then with her hair in a braid and a side braid to show her jewels and her earrings. I decided to keep it. I chose this color specifically because I know that back then blue and purple were really hard to come by if you were a peasant, and I knew that the royals would be the ones that would wear a lot of this type of stuff, as in like the colors, because they were able to afford it. So that's why I decided to keep her in like the bluish purple family violet and stuff like that. And I chose Penelope Cruz to play her because first of all, she's beautiful. And they're also in the same age range, so I kept it relatively simple as well, and I thought that they would fit best together, as in Claudius and Gertrude. I felt like they would look as if like a king and queen would. And then we're gonna move to Hamlet. I chose Diego Tinoco as Hamlet because in his roles that I've seen, he plays a really like smart, cunning, yet really like fragile character, and I felt like that encompasses Hamlet very well because he's really smart, but he lets his emotions take the best of him when he's in dire situations. So I've seen him play these type of characters, and I felt that it would be best fit for Hamlet. As in for Hamlet's costume design, I wanted to keep it, like I said, modern and very prince-y. So it consists of a blazer with a white undershirt and a red tie. His medal is also on the left side, like Claudius, but I decided to keep it with like a blue-gray blazer and some gray pants and some brown dress shoes. I wanted to also show the difference and almost like how they are biologically related rather than Claudius, and he doesn't really like Claudius. So I felt it also as like he was defying his stepdad in the way he dresses rather than Claudius. So this is what I chose to do for Hamlet, and this is his cast. Okay, and then we're gonna move on to Ophelia. For Ophelia, I chose Isabella Gomez because I've seen her in some of her works, and she plays a really outspoken character, and I wanted it to also like contradict her and Ophelia, since Ophelia is more of like a very feminine girl and a very not innocent, quote unquote innocent, as in the way she looks. Like she looks angelic, there you go. And I wanted to see if I was a director, I would want her to see her in another role, and I thought she would best fit because she also looks, she's first of all really pretty as Ophelia, and I wanted it to stay in that sort of type of way, to look more innocent, more feminine. And even though Ophelia is strong in some points, she's really naive, and she gets her, like I said, like Hamlet, she lets her emotions get the best of her, and she eventually loses her life because of it. So yeah, this is her character. This is her costume design. It is a simple peachy pink blush gown that has a tail. This is like supposed to look like tulle, like a tulle tail, and with gold accents, as in like her belt, her ring, her bracelet, her necklace. I wanted to keep it like a sweetheart neckline because I know like Disney princesses have like a sweetheart neckline that show her shoulders, and I wanted to also show her status because of this, and that's why I did the really like the not really low, but like to accentuate her shoulders, since like I said, I've seen Disney princesses wear it, and I felt like it showed a lot of like femininity, like a feminine side of her. So yeah, so that is my costume and character design, and I will show you the 3D model that I decided to do. Okay. So this is the 3D model I did. I was gonna explain, I decided to change the characters and the costume designs and also the set to take place in Spain, because I wanted to keep it relatively modern, as I said multiple times, and I wanted it to almost make it more relatable to the younger audience, if that makes sense, because I know if the audience was a little bit older, they would understand how Shakespeare supposedly would want it, as in like the Victorian age, and I moved it because I know in Spain right now there's still kings and queens and princes and princesses, so I feel like it would reach a wider audience, and that's why I decided to stay with the red, the gold, and like the yellow, so like the Spain flag colors. And I kept it relatively blank here because this is where like the fighting scene comes in, like the fencing, the dying from the king and queen, and then Hamlet, and then Ophelia's brother. So yeah, and also with the cast, I decided to keep it with the Latino and Latina cast as well. As for lighting design, I couldn't print it out, so I just did it on regular piece of paper, but I kept it with like the spotlights on the outside, so you can see so I can center in as the action is going on. But what I also wanted to do is like the lights getting dimmer as like a person dies in this scene, after Hamlet and the other person have their little discussions. They go here. Hamlet fights Ophelia's brother, and then just all hell breaks loose. But yeah, as in for the actual sound design, I chose one song in particular, and that was The French Library by Franz Gordon, because it is really like a dark, as in like the aesthetic of it, and the scene is also dark because there's a lot of death involved, so that's why I chose it. And it's almost like a really sad yet calming song, because in the end of this scene, like Hamlet gets his revenge, but at the cost of his own life. So that's why I chose the song. But yeah,